Good afternoon, YouTube. It's your man, aka All the Rage George Page, the Emperor of Female Bodybuilding Talk, coming to you live on YouTube. As you know, this is Muscle Talk episode number 25. I think 26. Let me say, yeah, it's 26. And today we will have an interview with IFBB Pro Reshanna Boswell, and it's gonna be like I said, I'm right now talking with her via social media. I'm trying to get it, it's gonna be on Streamlab, because we do an interview on Streamlab, but it's gonna be on my YouTube page. She should receive. Let me send her. Okay, I think we might have it. All right, let me try again. Okay. It's what you think it happens with technology. you know, I'm hoping we get it right. Okay. And see. Okay. Let me see. Uh, let me see. Ready? Okay. Now it's gonna take some time. Now I hope y'all enjoyed. Y'all had a good weekend. I hope y'all enjoyed your weekend. I just posted a couple of videos. One notably is to about for a lady I follow, who I'm a big fan, MMA fighter by the name of Marion, the Belizean bruiser we know, and she lost her fight against Maisie Chazon, who is a natural featherweight. And I'm kind of, I feel, Marion should have won that fight. I mean, but you know how it is, and Maisie Chazon is just huge. She is fighting as a bantam, but she should be a feather. I don't understand. It's just, but I know, she's probably better off in the featherweight division. You know, because she'll have girls with uh her weight class to fight against. You know, but it's just one of these things. But right now we're waiting on Reshanna to get the link. I sent her the link. I also posted it on my IG. The link to this interview. If anyone want to come in, and who wants to ask questions, who's curious about female bodybuilders, what they go through, their lives. Shauna is a wife. She has a wife, a spouse, or as they call a spousal companion. She has two beautiful babies, Lucas and Lotus. Just had a birthday about a couple of weeks ago. Oh, there we go. And I'm gonna click her in. You got it, didn't you?
Yeah, I was like, oh wait, okay, little delay.
That's all right. That's all right. We take two. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to work you one Miss IFBB Pro, Miss Reshanna Boswell. Thank you for coming on to my show, Muscle Talk Mondays.
Thank you.
Yeah. So how you going right now? How things going?
Pretty good. I'm enjoying the off season, enjoying some downtime, a little bit of rehab work, and eating and lifting minus the cardio. So
Yeah. Well, before we start really get the interview, I know you might have heard this a while back, I think about a week ago. This is someone that you competed with, Miss Angela Rayburn. Her father has passed away.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted everybody who listened to this video or watched it, I want y'all to give condolences to Mrs. Rayburn on the loss of her father.
Yeah.
I mean, I can understand how it is because it wasn't that long ago I lost my mother. And it's just, and just anything, just show your love and support to Miss Rayburn. If you can share this video with her and let her know that we out here in the world really care about her. And we're hoping that, if she, I heard. Yeah. So, just take your time. You have your family, you have your friends, and you have the support of us who are your fans. So anyway, let's get started. Where's the babies? How's the babies doing?
The babies are good. They're eating. It's mealtime for them right now. So they'll make an appearance as soon as they're done. You want them to eat first, trust me.
Yeah. I know they just had their first birthday was about a couple of weeks ago. Lucas, he was killing that cake.
Yes, they are officially 1 year old now. Like crazy.
How does it feel to be a parent and also be a professional bodybuilder?
It was an interesting year. I mean, they were born on pandemic day, the day of the shutdown. So like that in itself was just crazy. It was just crazy and a crazy year, and just trying to manage everything and manage the time, and trying to compete and not sleep. And I remember right before one of the shows, Shelby's like, and make sure you're getting about 6 to 8 hours of sleep. And I'm like, Shelby, I have like 4-month-old twins. That is literally impossible at this point. So it's, it's rough, but we got it done. We definitely got it done.
Yeah. And how's your wife doing? I mean, what's her name again? Because I forgot her name.
Kate. Yeah, she's doing amazing. She's definitely taking the brunt with the kids. She does a lot of it herself. She's amazing. Been amazing throughout the process. I mean, it took us 4 years to get these kids. So 4 years.
The big question: how did y'all two meet? How did you meet?
We met online. We met online just randomly. I was not looking for a relationship whatsoever. And we just kind of, and it just kind of went, and it was pretty instant. And we dated for maybe a month before we got married, and then the rest has been history. So we dated for maybe a month, I think. So when you know.
Yeah. So that's good. It's good to find love. Me myself, I'm a confirmed bachelor. I'm Bruce Wayne without the Batman and the money. But like I said,
go that way.
That's true. I'm Bruce. Yeah. All right. Mary, Master Wayne. So I'm gonna throw because I'm a Batman fan. I'm gonna throw a few Batman quotes every now and then. I like the Nolan Batman. So but anyway, it's gonna be wild before we have any competitions. And I know you're prepping, you're eating, you're doing a lot of stuff, and that's a lot. I mean, for you in level professional bodybuilder. But the thing is that the question is like, what would you say is your most toughest workout you have to do?
Toughest workout. I don't know. Legs are still a tough day. I mean, I have legs, but that just makes the workouts more intense. That's probably the most dreaded. It's still leg day. I get leg day done, but that's probably the most dreaded. Right now, I'm doing, like I said, still a lot of rehab work. So just trying to strengthen up my shoulders, and kind of getting some rehab work. So I mean, I'm doing some PT and some rehab stuff for that. So that's that's pretty taxing right now as well too. Just trying to get some full mobility back. I had lost some range of motion in my shoulder, so trying to get that back, and so rehab with that is pretty intense. Just before we really start a full-on prep for the season, so just still trying to get stronger and kind of rehab some things too. So the rehab is actually pretty tough at this point.
Anyway, I have a friend of mine. His name is Marcus Bell. He comes by. He drops a like. He says salute to all the ways George Page. That's my name on YouTube. And he's coming through. Just slam a like that. And anybody like this, slam a like, subscribe. Also, she's Miss Boswell's on social media, so you can subscribe to her. Share the video. Also, she has a PayPal. And this is the thing about being a big bodybuilder in general. That this is a sport they do out of a passion. These ladies don't get the big money. You're not like they don't get big money. There's no big money as it should be. Like it's just like I did some videos where I talked about how what y'all go through, because between dieting, training, your outfits, I mean, it's expense. And I know. I think your last show was your last big show was the Chicago Pro. And what was the prize money for that show?
Yeah, typically, I mean, I think our prize money, even for first, might be 4,000 or so if you win first place. For the big, and that's the Chicago Pro or the Tampa Pro. Some of the bigger shows give you 4,000 or 5,000, but that's really for the first place. And then I think top five, fifth place fifth place doesn't get anything. Top three get prize money. So. Yeah. It's not a ton.
I know I did a video. Yeah, because I know you follow me. I did a video where I said that you should have won Chicago. I just feel like you should have won Chicago. Yeah,
I do too. It was definitely close. I mean,
and then now the Teresa Invexic has now decided to join to physique, and I did a video where. I followed Teresa for some time, and she was, if you remember, she was bodybuilder. She was a huge girl. She was huge.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if you think now that with her, kind of, would that change the playing field with certain competitors out, if they step out of the bodybuilding division and go to physique?
It's going to be interesting, I think. So kind of like how she switch down to women's physique, a lot of women's physique, competitors are going to switch to female bodybuilding. That was what happened with me. I was in women's physique, in 2019 and competed and was told that I was too big for women's physique and that I should consider switching, so now it's, switching over to bodybuilding because I was on the bigger side of women's physique. And now that women's bodybuilding has made it back to the Olympia, a lot of girls are going to be switching over to bodybuilding that were initially on that bigger side of women's physique or, didn't necessarily place as well. But I mean, I think a matter of that is going to be talking to the judges. Like I talked to Linda Murray and she's like, you should switch. I think you'd do better, in bodybuilding. So it was definitely the right switch for me. And now I'm just on the side of now trying to get bigger to fit into this category now. But it was definitely a good switch for me. And I think it's going to be a lot of crossing back and forth from a lot of competitors. This will be an interesting year once everything gets going.
Yeah, I know I did an interview Ada and she also competed. I remember she would say she did a show with Lila Ash, because you know her, and they competed in the same show. And they were told to go up to women's bodybuilding. And I think there's a couple of others. I think there's a Julia Furr from Sweden. She's supposed to be also, because she just made the ambassador group, and she's supposed to be coming up in bodybuilding. Yeah. And did you put an application for an ambassador also?
I did. Just wasn't selected this year. So everyone's like, "What did you?" I'm like,
we just say you weren't selected. So we just say it like that. But anyway, like your Paul Jackson, your parents be like, "We're a nice marriage." We got a couple more people here. My man Marcus Bell, like I said, he'd like to say hello to you, Miss Reshanna, and my man Jared. He's my bodybuilding historian. He comes on when I do my MuscleTalk Mondays. He likes to say it's a nice interview. Yeah. But like I said, with the sport going into the news, now with the return of female bodybuilding, the true Miss Olympia to Olympia stage, how did it feel? Now, you already did Olympia before, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I
That
did the
was
last two
physique.
Olympiad. Yeah, I did with
Yeah,
physique for the 2019 and 2020. And yeah, it's women's bodybuilding.
yeah. And
Mhm.
how it feels to be on stage with people like you almost were on stage with Iris Kyle, the
I
10-time
see.
Miss
Yeah,
Olympia.
yeah, that was interesting because even when we were doing check-ins, I just so happened to be standing next to her. So for a moment, I was just like, okay, all right, this is like Iris, like who has her arm around me for this photo. So it was just kind of like one of those, like, wow, okay, like
You
literally
you
the legend.
you're so excited, like you're like I feel like a little girl in springtime.
You know what? It was absolutely a fangirl moment for sure. Like it's Iris. Like that was just it's like one of those, and it's truly one of those when your idols become your rivals, right? Like that is literally the epitome of exactly that. So it's like I made it. Like I get to be standing next. I'm standing next to Iris. So like, yeah, it was awesome. It was nice. It's
Hmm.
really nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. That's just, like I said. That's great because I know they're gonna have it again in Orlando. I wouldn't mind traveling to Orlando, but right now I have certain conditions that it's not good for me to do too much traveling, especially with things going on with COVID.
Right.
And I think COVID really kind of really messed up a lot of the last year's season because I think a lot of shows, a lot of you ladies couldn't go to the gyms. A lot of the
Mm-hmm.
competitors couldn't get ready as it could. I think a lot of people did like in-home workouts. I follow quite a lot of ladies in the sport, and they're doing like in-home workouts. Some who have enough who can afford their own like in-home gyms. And what was like
Mm-hmm.
with you training, doing with this whole COVID thing?
I mean, the whole process, it was a crazy year. I mean, I was grateful for the shows that we got. Our gyms closed here, so it was kind of the same thing. I was lucky enough; I had enough equipment at home that I could, kind of forge a decent workout. Um, but it was hard. We were staying at a hotel for some of the time too, for about the first 2 months for the shutdown, just because our kids were still in the hospital because they were premature, so they were in the hospital. So I was able to
Yeah.
use the hotel gym. I used the hotel gym when I could. So it was like, yeah, the hotel gym and then what I had at home is kind of what we had to do for the most part. Yeah, it was just a crazy year. And then the up and down dieting, I was supposed to do Puerto Rico in May, so I was dieting down for that, and then that gets canceled, and you're like, okay, so now back up with the carbs, So it was a constant. It was a rough year. So any competitor that competed last year was, I mean, my God, it was a rough year. It was really a rough year.
Yeah. But it was a rough year, but it was an amazing year for a competitor. Somebody well known is this Andrea Shaw, and she hit like a triple header. You both
Mm-hmm.
did
Yeah,
both
yeah,
did, you both did the Omaha, and she won
mm-hmm.
that show. Then
Yeah,
y'all at the Rising Phoenix, she wins that, and then
mm-hmm.
y'all together. Then you go to the Olympia, and then like I said, my thing was I was thinking I had my prediction that I thought it was going to be Margie V. Martin. I felt like Andrew was going to take second, and I was going to take third. But then when Andrea took, I said, "Wow!" I was surprised because
Yeah,
then it's that I think what it was. Why I was here, like I follow quite a lot of ladies. I talked to them, and what they say was because the look she had was what the look they was
mm-hmm.
going for. Because
Yeah.
at the at the same
Mm-hmm.
show, they got a new Miss Olympia in physique, and that was Sarah Vilgas. And
Mm-hmm.
then Shanique Grant says she wants to step away from bodybuilding and focus on her family.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I
Yeah,
think Andrea though was a good like she has a great look. She full muscles, small waist, and that was the look that they wanted. I mean, same thing with so with Rising Phoenix, it was kind of the precursor anyway. So when she won the Rising Phoenix, I was like, well, she's probably going to win Miss Olympia. And I mean, I lost to her. I was a runner up to her in Omaha, so I'm like, that works for me. I mean, if Miss Olympia is who I'm runner up to, then that's just fine. So, but I mean, yeah, she's nice. She's nice in general. She reached out to me several times after a couple
yeah,
of shows. Reached out to me after Chicago, congratulated me after Omaha. She's a good ambassador for the sport, and the new era that they're trying to bring in. And she's young, and yeah, and I think that's the look that they wanted, and they want to make that pretty clear, the look that they're going for. So, yeah.
yeah. And that was a gift for her because she just turned 37 that day. That was
Exactly.
her
It was,
birthday
yeah,
gift.
yeah,
And
yeah.
I often say this. I often say this. A lot of female bodybuilders, they really hit their maturity and muscle when they hit about their, I would say, mid 30s to early 40s. And you have quite a
Mm-hmm.
lot of ladies who are competing, who are a little over. Like Irene Anderson, she's in her 50s. I know Helen Trevino's up there. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
there's some great women out there because I know there's some great female bodybuilders. That's
Yeah.
who do you like like I like who's your favorite? Who do you like? Who do you like? You see yourself standing beside you when you're on stage.
Well, actually, it was funny because I liked when I saw that Mela switched over. I thought that was a nice look. I thought she brought a really nice looking stage presence, and she has a really small waist too. So as far as overall look, I like Andrea's look too. They're bringing in that full look, very much an X frame, but a small waist. So I think that's what they're looking for in men's bodybuilding too, to still be feminine, still be pretty, but still have, muscle wise, be full muscles, but not to the point where you're sacrificed, like, hey, now you have an extended belly and all that kind of stuff. So keeping your waist really tight and small, aesthetically, keeping the aesthetics in bodybuilding, and not letting it get away from that again. So I think that was I think those two really bring a lot of that out. And I like watching Mela pose. So yeah, I think those two are really probably two that I like to see on stage.
Yeah. So that's going to be pretty much a new standard from now on, because I know, the classes like Hel Trevino, she's the two-time former Rise Phoenix champion. Margie V. Martin, Margie got killer quads. I mean, those quads are like
insane. Always.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like I said, I follow Margie on IG. She's crazy. She's a nut. And I make comments,
but that's Margie. Yes.
Especially being a jarhead, a former jarhead. That's surprising, And I make comments, and she laughs. Like sometimes she has to come on, do a little dance like that. And I make comments, and she likes them. I mean, like, yeah. Well. And if I ever meet her or any of you ladies in real life, I don't know. I think I geek out. I mean, I might act like I like watch movies. I'll act like Michael take my hand, boss.
That's kind of how it was at the Olympia. Like everybody was backstage, and we were like all laughing and kind of. I mean, we were competing, but it was still kind of like we're backstage, kind of being silly and just like taking pictures and just kind of hanging out. It was a good time, and all the girls, we actually really get along and just kind of, it's just easy. Like we're not super catty. It's just, it was just nice. So I mean, the whole group, it was a good time. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, because I remember y'all were in like I forgot a picture I get
the cage.
And it's y'all the cage. Like, this is a cage. I said, I'd be like this, I'd be taking like, babe, bring her to my bed chamber, put her in fine oils and best scented wines.
It was so random. Somebody pointed it out, and they're like, "We need a photo." And then one of the photographers were there. They're like, "Well, who's getting in?" So we're like, "Yeah, that was absolutely random. That was pretty weird." We're like, "Who's caged?"
Yeah, because I remember. Yeah, that's just so fun to just watch y'all. Because I love the backstage stuff. Because they usually, it's y'all ladies get pumped up, y'all getting ready, y'all having fun. I mean, it's fun to watch that. But like the big question is, I'm gonna say like this: what got you into bodybuilding? Because I know your past you had a athletic sporting background. You were a trainer and stuff like that. But what really got you to go a little step further, than what you are today?
Yeah, so I mean, I was working in physical therapy initially, and then one of the guys there was a personal trainer, and then he took me through my first workout, and then from there we kind of started talking. And I started buying bodybuilding magazines. He took me to my first competition just to see it as just a spectator. And then I don't know, I just kind of got intrigued with it, and I wanted to start training. And I met my first coach, at a vitamin shop one day, and I saw her coming in, and she was like 2 weeks out from the show, so she was shredded. And I was like, I want to look like you. And then she's like, okay, you have no idea what this takes, but all right. And her name was Larissa, and we started out maybe a year after that, and I started in figure, and I don't know, it's just something that just kind of hit and kind of stuck. And I needed something, a new outlet. Like I tell people, I started working out because I used to go out a lot and I was drinking and doing all this other kind of stuff. And then once I kind of ended that, training and working out took the place of that. So it was really an outlet for me, honestly. And from the working out and stuff, I just got into the bodybuilding. And once I went to my first show, I was kind of hooked. And I was like, I want to try it. I at least want to try and just see. So it started out as kind of like a bucket list item kind of deal. And then after the first show, I mean, I placed like top 5. And then it just kind of went from there. It's like either you love it or you don't. Either you fall in love with it after that. If you do your first diet and you make it through your first diet, you're like, oh, I think I can do this again. Either you say you'll do it again or you never do it again. And I just kind of stuck. So from there on, it's just kind of been, 8 years later, here we are. So.
Yeah, I know. Like I said, I often follow like I said, I follow like quite a lot of bodybuilders. And the diet thing is that your wife likes to eat. Your wife probably eating pizza, and you eating celery and a chicken, and you want to choke her out. But like I said,
Yeah, there's some days. Yeah, it's rough. It's rough. Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
For being out
so
with your
yeah,
family, or being out with family, and or, yeah, my family doesn't
yeah,
necessarily quite get it all the time. And yeah, that can't eat certain things. Yeah, it's
yeah.
but
And that's the thing is because being that we're both black, and and we as a people, we
mhm.
eat certain type of food. I'm from the South. I'm from North Carolina,
Okay.
and
Yeah.
yeah, we eat pretty healthy. My mama used to cook pretty good, make homemade biscuits, beans,
Mhm.
chicken, fried chicken. I'm trying to take care
Right.
of myself now that I'm getting older now. I try to cut back on that stuff, but sometimes I'm like this. I'd be like, Pookie, like, if you calling me, man, if you calling my name.
Mhm. No, some days
Yeah,
like I have to get into it. So yeah, it's like yeah, some days just like yeah.
so like, but the thing is, like, there's a lot of pros and cons with the sport between, like I said, besides with between not getting out sponsors, between people's prejudice against women who are muscles, and then also you have people who the ideology that like she's trying to be a man. Wait a minute, like how this
Mhm.
she's not trying to be a man. I'm a man, and there's things
Mhm.
that I might do, and you are a woman, and you're an
Mhm.
athlete, you're a competitor, and you're doing what you want to do. And that's
Mhm.
always I often talk to these ladies how they get have to deal with how we say jagoffs and idiots, and people
Oh
don't
yeah,
who
get it from
just
all
who are
sides.
kind of just to understand that you are an athlete.
Mhm.
Yeah, because recently, as if you follow me, I did an interview with Tisha Thomas, Miss Tiger Streaks. We talked about how she her did see the video her documentary, and how she was dealing with people when she walked on the street and how they treated her. We talked about that, and I mentioned also the videos about it, how and people don't understand it. And then also guys like me who are fan of women bodybuilders,
Mhm.
we often say like, man, what's wrong with you? Are you gay or something like that? Here's the thing like this. If I was gay, I would have well, I do have a fan trust on Vin Diesel, but that's different. And but I would be into guys like I'd be in like the women. But I really have when I was younger, I got into it because my brother used to play football. My older brother, he used to get the muscle mags, and I used to like to look the muscle mags because back then Schwarzenegger, Lou Ferrigno, those were big stars, all movies, new TV shows. I grew up in the '80s. You remember He-Man, Thundercats? They were the big
Mhm.
cartoons. And
Mhm.
then to see these women with muscles was totally different. And you got to remember, I was going through puberty at that time, and I don't want to go into details. But now I have become, yeah, I know I'm still a smo. I'm a smo at heart, but I'm become mature and I have a lot of respect for you women. I'm really learning a lot of stuff because, like I said, I did a video a while back where I talked about how, the financial stuff y'all got to go through, the
Mhm.
dieting, all of the training. There's so many
Mhm.
pros and cons. Now, what do
Yeah.
you feel like? What are the pros and cons, in your opinion, in this sport?
I mean, if you, it's always something, but if you can afford to compete, then compete because it's not necessarily going to be something that's going to pay you unless you truly, truly are at the top tier. If you're, Big Ramy or if you're Andrea, then yes, the sport pays. But otherwise, if you're not, then a lot of times when you're looking at hotel costs and plane and food, like those costs add up, and it's expensive. I mean, it's expensive sport. It can pay off potentially, whether it's sponsorship or whatever. But you don't get into this to bank on that. You get into this because you enjoy the process, you enjoy the training, you like competing, you like performing for a crowd, whatever the case may be. Um, so yeah, I mean, if you become top tier, then yeah, it can potentially pay off, or you'll get some good things from it. But be prepared, especially as an amateur starting out, that you're going to pay out a lot more than you get. I mean, because as a pro, you don't necessarily have entry fees anymore, but as an amateur, you're paying entry fees, you're paying for your card, you're paying for this on top of your travel. You get nothing. At least once you're a pro, you don't have to. You stop paying for that kind of stuff at least. So it had you can make money, but don't count on it. Absolutely not. It's not why you get into it. You know, so. But I mean,
Yeah,
I enjoy
because I know
competing
there's a
as well.
side. Yeah, that's good. That's a good thing because you have a passion for this sport. And if you don't have a passion, there's no possibility. But I know there's that dark side to it because I know I quite often question out a lot of ladies. Like they talk about how some ladies do other stuff, like after, especially after y'all do competitions, y'all do photo shoots because put them on websites. Yeah, put them on your websites or your social media pages. And I know I wish you talked. I know one lady that I become good friends with. I talked with Alicia Florio. She mentioned how you might get paid $400 or $500 an hour for doing a photo shoot, and usually usually like they love to get y'all right around the time when y'all are shredded, y'all cut, because us schmoes. I'm gonna say this right. These questions when y'all ladies rock hard, we'll rock hard. That's the thing. And
right after content, always a photo
yeah,
shoot right after.
yeah, and that's when usually that's the best time when you get you. And I know you have you worked with Annie with Vicchio yet or?
I worked with Annie with Muscle Angels. I shot with her in Savannah. I talked with me and Sean are going to connect this year for her biceps. I'll connect with him at some point this year, probably somewhere in July, August. We've been kind of talking around some dates to get a couple things in, and probably hopefully shoot with Annie again as well. So yeah, we got a couple things in the works.
One person I would recommend that he's a legend and he has done women photography for years is Bill Dobbins. He is one of the best. He's done books and stuff like that. I remember the book. I never bought the book, The Women. I always seen it on the internet. Maybe someday I get a chance. If I find a copy, I buy it. It's a great book. It's a beautiful book. Great legends. I know Linda's in it. Lloyd Craval. A lot of great female bodybuilders in that book. But anyway, but like I said, that's the dark side of the sport. Like I said, between video sessions, some women do sessions. They do the hardcore stuff. I mean, that's just the dark side of the sport. And people talk about
make money. Yeah. It's right. It's 101 avenues to make money. Technically, depending on what you want to do and kind of what you're comfortable with. There's the OnlyFans and different levels to OnlyFans and all these different kind of sites and stuff too. So and it's some's more explicit than others. It's kind of depending on your comfort level and what you're willing to do and the kind of followers you have too. So
yeah, because it's like I say, it's not for everybody. It's up to you what you want to do. You feel like you want to be comfortable with. But like I said, you're a person. You stand on your own two. You stand on your own 10 toes, and you do what you need to do.
Yeah, I mean, not having OnlyFans, I don't. Mine is probably gonna be just more workout stuff, kind of just basic stuff. Some posing videos. I usually put just some unreleased posing videos and that kind of stuff on there. Nothing super explicit, especially not when I have 1-year-old kids now. So I'm a little bit more.
You're a parent now. You're a parent.
Yeah, so like, I'll be parent maybe then, but now I'm like, oh wait, the kids might see this later, can't have that. So so like that, but yeah.
You don't want to say that. Hey, dude, I saw your mom. So like,
I know, man.
He be fighting every day.
Oh, imagine.
That's the thing with boys. We like I say, that's the thing with boys. Like we love our mothers. Our mothers are the first true woman we loved in our life. I love mine. I took care of her for 5 years. I love her. I still miss her. And you know how it is now. You're a parent, and I know you miss those days of partying, kicking, because you're from Chi-Town, right?
Yeah. Yes. You already know.
Yeah, it's up there. It's like home of my favorite comedian, Bernie Mac.
Yep.
I'm scared of y'all. Oh, I got from another fan of Blu-ray TV. Blu-ray TV says she is a beautiful shape, very sexy, I think. And this is from Blu-ray TV. Also, this is from my man Jared. Does she think she can get into the top 6 for the 2021 Miss Olympia? Jared's wondering if you think he can make the top 6.
I'm gonna try. There's only 3 more slots. I think I make it.
Yeah, we all do is try.
Yeah,
all you do is try because, like I said, I think it's just. So, which shows you think you might want to do this year?
Well, Chicago for sure will probably be the first show. July, August is when I'll be hitting stage. Just kind of like I said, finishing up some rehab work now. I just kind of just keeping a lean boat going now. So I had I'm sitting at about 175, 176 right now. And just really want to convert as much of that to muscle as I can. I lost a little bit of muscle mass right after the show, after the Olympia. But my body fat has stayed pretty low, so I'm not really too concerned about that. So now just trying to, like I said, rehab the shoulder, get back to the gym, get some more muscle put back on. But yeah, I feel pretty good. I feel pretty confident. Chicago Pro should be the first show, either Savannah
See,
or
that's the people you got to realize that. Yeah, and that's some people got to realize that y'all are athletes, and like any athletes, you have injuries. I follow many ladies. Like recently, this one lady, Sue Price, she's an area she's talking about going through injuries and stuff like that. I know doing the posing really can put a strain on your body, and then it's like with the if you follow me also, I talk about and if I go through the same thing because it's just a tough sport all around. And it may be not as physical as like football or basketball or maybe more mainstream sport, but it's still a sport, and you're still an athlete, and you go through a lot. So here go Blu-ray TV. She has Blu-ray TV, and she has the shape with more mass to possibly win Miss Olympia 2021. Hey, you got somebody saying you're gonna win Miss Olympia. So you got to push out.
I like it. Yeah. No, I feel good though. I feel
Blu-ray TV, you better not.
Let's do it. I think this will be a good year.
Yeah.
I'd love to.
Like I said, that's a great. Yeah, because it'd be great to win in your own backyard. And that's the big. Yeah. I remember when you were saying how they said the judges feel like there's some things you need to work on. It's a Chicago show. I feel like you were you look a little bit more like you were more shredded compared to Teresa. But like I said, I'm just a fan.
It was tough. I feel like that was one of those shows that it could have gone either way. After I talked to my coach because that was probably the one time I was kind of like, what the hell, what just happened? But I did. I like I said, the rear double bicep is what cost me that show. I couldn't hit that pose how I needed to hit that pose. And based on what Shelby said, he's like, for me to win, I need to win every single pose. I didn't win that pose. And I can acknowledge that that's the only pose. But that was a pose that cost me that show. So, we won't let that happen again. So a lot of detail is going into my back training and shoulder training, and being able to really put the mass on and get the thickness that I need, so that that's not an issue anymore. So, yeah.
And I'm telling you, because when you came back to Olympia, you looked like, because that's if you notice, that's the picture I put in the avatar of you at the Olympia, and you looked amazing, and it's just
we grew into that show for sure. Yeah, we definitely grew into the O. Yeah. That was very happy with that.
But speaking of, I remember you said about Big Ramy, and I did a video where I mentioned how he got $400,000, where Andrea only got $50,000, and that's crazy. It's not like you women. It's not like it costs more for you women to compete, because you got to think about it. All he has to do is buy a banana hammock. That's it.
yeah, exactly.
And y'all ladies have to get your hair done. You got to get your nails done. You get your makeup. You have your posing suit, and you have your final suit, and that's a lot of money, because I did, like I said, it's cost, like I did when I did my muscle talk, where I talked about how it costs like maybe from $1,000 to $1,500 per suit.
Right. Yep.
And that's and it's not like back in the day when we were playing, you have a regular opposing suit, but you had to have something like bedazzled. You have to look like a mirror ball on stage.
Yeah, it's it's expensive for sure. Yeah.
And this is why I say that put her PayPal in the description. So if y'all have, like, I know everybody's not doing so well, but you know what? In the end of the month, y'all both be getting your COVID checks. So if you see the PayPal, send her a little something. I mean, it's not much, but it helps her out, helps her on her cost with training. It helps with uh other stuff like her suits, everything else. I mean, like here's my man my man Blu-ray TV. Surely women should be getting at least 100,000 for the Miss Olympia winner, and that should be right, because you know what, $100,000 does help out a bit, because we know that the men are going to be the Olympia the men in Olympia are the main stars. We know that. But the women should at least get $100,000. I think, like, Andrea should get $100,000. Margie should have got way at least 75,000. I think Hello should have got $50,000. $25,000 to Milo. 10,000 to Irene. 5,000 to 5,000 to most definitely 5,000 to Monique, and all their ladies down the line should maybe get, like, the top 10 ladies get maybe $2,000 apiece, and maybe like a little something extra for ladies to just get. It's like as a consolation prize, maybe about, I would say, $1,000. That helps. It's not much.
Yeah, it would help out. Because even the first two in women after Andrea, so the first and second it was 50, then 20. Everything else is single digits. It's like 7,000. It kind of goes down the line for the top. But yeah, it's definitely a huge discrepancy between the two. And women, we actually got a raise a couple of years ago across the women's divisions. They just increased it from, like, the women's bikini and physique also actually got a bit of a bump for the Olympia specifically, and even that is still a huge difference. So yeah, it's every so often I think they bump it up every few years, and that's been at least 5 or 6 years now. So yeah, it's definitely a big difference.
That's a good thing, because that's a good thing, especially with Wings of Strength. Jake Woods, I know you met Mr. Woods. I'm a big fan of him. I remember that when him and his ex-wife, they saved the sport, because back in 2014, after 2014, there was going to be Miss Olympia. They're saying because of ticket sales, but most of these ticket sales, you buy a ticket, don't you buy it for all the shows?
Right, exactly.
So what do you mean by ticket sales? I mean, as long as you're selling tickets, the women should have a place to do the compete. And they got rid of the Miss International, which was kind of like the second runner-up contest. Because if back then you had Iris, you had Linda, you had Kim Savetsky, and then you say, well, I'm not gonna beat them. So you had Laura Cravel was a 3-time Miss International. You had Vicky Gates. You had you competed with Yakini O'Keen, a 1-time Miss Olympia, and also a 5-time Miss International. And then, because the money wasn't enough, Iris was competing in both shows. And now that Miss Olympia is back, the Rising Phoenix now has took the place of Miss International.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Invitation only.
Yeah. And I know I said that that now they set the schedule for it. I asked you that you're going to be competing, so you're going to put your invitation for it, because and I think more like there's a good chance that most definitely you're going to make the top 5. I feel like you're going to make the top 5.
If they let me in, I think, and it was funny because I said, I saw it that they advertising it, so I'm gonna send in my intent. If they let me in Rising Phoenix, you can pretty much bank on a top 5 for me. So yeah, just got to get the invite.
Yeah. Wait, I got something here from my man, Blu-ray TV. He follows my channel, and he comes on to do my videos. In tennis, men and women get the same prize money, and they only pay 3 sets to men's 5. And that's the crazy thing about it, because it's just crazy how money disparagement is in any sport. How the women WA don't make much money for the men in NBA, and most times, only way, like, here's this good example, like Tom Brady, who I'm not a fan of. I don't like Tom Brady, and his wife Gisele Bündchen makes more money than him, and his job is seasonal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and that's
Yeah.
the thing is that I think is and then also I follow MMA, and UFC is one of the biggest organizations, and they have a contract with Reebok, and the fighters don't get paid as much compared to boxers. And that thing is that's one thing bodybuilding don't have. You do have sponsors like you drink your own chill water. You have other
Right.
sponsors, but if you can get like big sponsors
Man. Right.
like Nikes or right Reebok, because
Mm-hmm.
remember a few years ago when Tiger Woods got in that trouble, and he lost all his sponsors. He lost Gatorade, Cadillac, and the only
Mm-hmm.
sponsor he had left was Nike because how much money he made for Nike.
Right. See, now
Yeah,
that right, bodybuilding is a main sponsor. I mean, I think that they're doing the live stream last year, with the whole COVID thing, but the live stream was a new concept for bodybuilding. I think giving people a chance to subscribe and really be able to see us on TV. I think that's a nice thing, and I'm hoping they'll keep the live stream going. But yeah, bodybuilding, if we
yeah,
got like a true main sponsor, that would be amazing. I mean, Jake has done a huge thing with Wings of Strength and just expanding that and with the Olympia and stuff. That's been huge too. But if we got a mainstream sponsor, that would be probably a game changer for bodybuilding in general, for sure.
yeah. Because that's the hard part because a lot of the mainstream stuff you probably can't get no like other than maybe a few, maybe you can't get too many energy drinks or any kind of you can't get like maybe you can get maybe Pizza Hut after y'all have the shows because yeah, yeah, be like sponsor pizza be your sponsors. After you have your shows, like we got your Pizza Hut, we got your Burger King, we got and that's what is like. This question is, what is your favorite cheat meal?
I love sweets in general. So
Oh my god,
usually, I love sweets. So I love like breakfast. So like usually I'll do French toast is probably my go-to meal. So even after a show, the next morning I find a breakfast place or whatever, and it's French toast the whole bit. And then I love cheesecake. Cheesecake is probably like my favorite dessert. So I always have some cheesecake post show. And it's always French toast. So probably my two favorite things. But definitely
yeah.
sweets. I love sweets. So
I'm a sweet person too. I remember I like sweets. I like cakes. My mom used to make the grist jelly cakes. It's just she used like good old apple jelly and chocolate cakes and it just it's sugar like crack.
I know, and
It's like
yeah, I have to keep that under control for prep for sure. But that is definitely like my go-to. Yeah, I love sweets.
yeah. But like I said, I know you mentioned Linda Murray, and I know she a while back she had surgery. I hope she's doing well because I'm a big fan
Hmm.
of Linda. She really stepped up with her shows, with the Norfolk show. She has a
Hmm.
show in Savannah. I think she's supposed to have a show in Detroit also. Supposed to be,
Yeah,
I know she was
yeah,
working on that.
the Norfolk show will be brand new this year too. This will be the Savannah show. Will be the second year for the Savannah show, I think. But Norfolk for her will be brand new, so it'll be a brand new show for this year too. And yeah, she had both
Hmm.
knees. She had a double knee replacement. So yeah, that was pretty
Yeah,
pretty intense. Yeah, it was intense. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, because I have issues with my knees too. Because I have arthritis in both knees. My left knee is pretty much about you ate up most of the cartilage, and my right knee is really done. So, and I got knees like Stone Cold Steve Austin. Remember Stone Cold used to work double the braces? Yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. Like But like I said, this is a great interview. I really enjoyed this
Wait, let
talking
me
with
grab let
you
me grab
ladies
the
because
babies really quick. I want to show the babies. Let me just grab the
okay,
kids real
yes, the babies, the babies. We get to see the babies, everybody! Yay! You see the babies. Anyway, y'all share this. Also, I have my Cash App in the description. You want to drop something for me in Cash App? I have my PayPal in the description. You want something from PayPal? Also, I have my GoFundMe because I might be moving sometime soon. I'm not sure when, but drop whatever. Oh,
All right, so here's first half of the duo. The other one's coming.
yeah, she's so cute.
This is
Yo,
Lourdes.
hey, hey, Lourdes.
All
Hey,
right, here comes Big Man.
oh, oh, hey, big man.
Oh,
The cake,
Oh, look.
the cake killer, the cake killer, the killer of cakes.
Yes. Hi. Hey, you say hi? Huh?
Hey, I want to do something before I do this. And like, Dr. Evil, let me ask you, you keep your money. Let me eat your babies. It's so cute. Yeah.
Thank you.
Hey, how you doing? Now they're already walking, and are they saying any
They're
words
standing
yet? They
and
say,
pulling up. Yeah, they're standing.
yeah, yeah. I know. Wait, I'm telling you right now, because I said I never had kids of my own, but I helped raise my nieces and nephews, and I'm a great uncle. And I'm telling you right now, be careful of the terrible twos. Be aware,
Yeah, double the trouble for
Yeah,
sure.
just
Double the trouble for sure.
yeah, that is just yeah. She said, "Hey, Lourdes, yeah, yeah, that's so beautiful." Is the wife there? Can I say hello
Oh,
to the
come
wife?
on
Can
in.
she say hello? Does she have time?
Yeah, wait, she's got the babies. Come on, give me the one back. Duck down, so you can get in there. Hi. The
Hey,
real Lenny is
hey,
here.
please. Before I say this, ma'am, I'd like to thank you for letting me allow you talk to your wife here. I really appreciate that. I want to be
I know I have to be
respectful.
quiet enough.
And all righty. I really appreciate your time. You have beautiful babies. Before I say this, Dr. Evil, you keep your money. Let me eat your babies.
You're good. You're good. You're good. All right. Oh, be up in a minute. Be up in a minute.
Yeah. It's so beautiful. Like that's the thing a lot of people don't think that people always get angry about bodybuilders can't. There's quite a few women who have families. There's some women who have children before they got into sport. There's some women who have children after the sport. I know, Alicia Young, she had her daughter. She was still competing, and that's a beautiful thing to be, to be an athlete, to be a spouse, to be a mother, and that's a beautiful thing about and that I really and like I said, one lady that just mentioned you to Brittany Brooks. She says you're a genuine person, and from
Yeah,
this conversation with you, because I like Brittany. She was one of my interviews I did. We did a couple
yeah, I just saw
interviews.
that. Yeah, I
I'm
just saw
reaching.
hers. Actually.
Yeah, and I'm reaching out to her. I often send her some stuff, try to help her out. I know she's right now she's going through some stuff. She's up in Texas. They had that big storm, and that was awful. But
Yeah.
like I said, this is one thing I'm going to say to you, and this is why I'm like this. You ladies, you really truly are athletes, and you need our support because y'all are committed to what y'all doing. This is, and I'm with my people. I know a lot of people assume like bodybuilding is a pageant thing, and there's always people say there's stuff to it like about the use of performance enhancers, the other stuff that's involved in it. That's just about any sport,
Exactly.
and
Exactly.
then and first also you have to deal with the fact with how the IFBB, even though you were competing in physique. But bodybuilding, they almost was almost gone because the fact was, say to my favorite movie, Batman Begins, like Ra's al Ghul told Bruce Wayne, to ever take your enemy, you walk up behind them and stab them in the heart, and that's what you're pretty much on. But it's that fact that Jake Woods' Wings of Strength is keeping this sport going, and that's great for us. Real true fans of you ladies who do what y'all do and y'all commit and we respect you for that. As they have their ideas, their opinions of what a woman should be, how she should do, but you are an athlete. When it comes in there, you are still a lady, but you are also an athlete.
Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, anyway, before we go out, I want to ask you something but after I end this after I end the interview, and don't go out yet because I'm gonna interview you a little bit. Anyway, I really like to appreciate everybody coming through. Drop the like, share this on your social media. Also, like I said, Ken, her stuff is in the description. Also, a PayPal. If you got a few bucks, and say it won't be long before you get a stimulus check. Send her a little something. these ladies, they do this stuff for a passion. And
Definitely.
money's not is a fluid. It's come to other sports, but this is a great lady right here. She took some time off to do this here with me. This guy with only 400 subscribers, and she's one of my subscribers. I really appreciate her being one of mine. And I just want to just really, really thank you for your time. I really want to do.
I
It's
appreciate
just
it.
nice because I appreciate you. So anyway,
Thanks.
and this is just great, And I'm hoping we see you at. We're hoping you. We know what. We hope that you do win Chicago, go to Olympia, and possibly shake it up over there.
That's
And
the plan.
you have,
Let's just stir it up a bit. That's exactly the plan. Stir up
yeah,
some things.
yeah,
Absolutely.
you, yeah. Do you have anybody you want to say thank you to? Anybody you want to say appreciate you to? People you want to shout
My
out
wife,
to?
of course. My wife, of course. She literally meal preps for me every single week. She does all my meal prep. Ladrissa, she's my mentor. She started me in competing, really, my first coach, and that's still my mentor now. And of course, I'm working with Shelby, Northern Chill, as far as my sponsors, Champion Bread sponsorship. Laura, who helps me with my suits as well, and Michelle, who helped me with my Olympia jury, which she just reached out to me, which was huge. So I have some good people in my corner. Ladrissa does keep me grounded, and my wife is my rock. I mean, yeah, and my two beautiful children, Lucas and Lourdes. Yeah.
Yeah. To the haters, like Silky Johnson said in the Player Haters Paul, hate till you can't hate no more. Anyway, I like to thank Miss Reshanna Boswell. I like to thank the babies for coming by. I like to thank her wife. I like to thank y'all all out there
Thanks,
for
guys.
my man. I thank my brothers, Blue Wave TV, Marcus Bell, Jared for coming by. All you people that like this, like the video, the interview, share, describe with this for everybody out there. And I'm gonna end this off with you. This is your man, all the way at your page, aka the Emperor. I choose Emperor, not King, because Emperor is more prestigious than a king. Female bodybuilding talk. Coming to you live with Miss Shauna Bob, IFBB Pro and future Olympia.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah. See, wait a minute. All right.